Greetings. You've entered Corpse Corner. You're here in episode 3 of my Boneblivion idea for a D-Dub RPG. Where were we? We've created our character, which is pretty much nothing more than visuals. We're not gonna decide our class or choose any abilities or whatnot. That we will decide as we play the adventure, depending on what choices we make, like a true RPG. Everyone starts neutral 0. Oh yeah. So here we are, the beginning, or as I like to call it, Bonnie's Breakfast Bistro. Sorry. Bonnie's Breakfast Bistro. Yes. And who is Bonnie? This is Bonnie. This is Bonnie. She may have had a different name back in the old days, but she was the loading screen that kept bugging me all throughout Bone Town, and then we never found her, and she didn't have any sex scenes in the game, so she should be the first one you get to ban. I just called her Bonnie because of the bistro. And so, we'll begin our adventure similar to how we did in Bone Town, except we can't just wake up with someone peeing on our face. That's 2000s. We need a grand entrance for this RPG, so we begin with nothing but darkness, and then we see the D-Dub logo. D-Dub presents, and in the corner there's a flower, and you hear that music that like someone's waking up. It's the flower. As the flower opens up like a spreading pussy, it reveals a pixie. She's a little sexy pixie girl, like what's that little fairy in Disney? Twinkle, Twiddle. Oh, it's been a while. Anywho, so our little fairy wakes up from sleep and zooms off from the flower past the logo and starts zooming through trees in the forest, which seems to be nighttime. It's gonna have to be sunset, like afternoon. So I guess at this point you could still see, but it should be getting dark. As she's zipping through the trees, music builds up. Suddenly she flies near a wolf to show the basic enemy in the game. As the wolf tries to bite her, she flies past it, dodging the attack, and flies to more thicket trees until the trees spread open and you get a nice big open view of the world as the sun is setting, and the logo comes up, Boneblivion, lust for the cock rings, And the music gets all triumphant, or whatever the hell. And it shows the title. Then the title goes away, and you get like a view of the world, kinda. Get some ocean, get some... It depends on the view, because you're coming out of the trees, and it'll just depend, but you get a view of something. A little view of the world as the sun is setting. So it starts to get dark, and a little pixie's flying along. The forest is opened up, and now you see a big shack building as she whizzes past it. And then maybe it'll be 2 floors. I don't know how big the place will be, but it'll probably be a big place, semi-big. Not too big, but nice wooden log, old building. She'll fly past that though to the beach, and there will your character be, passed out on the beach. And the pixie will fly up to you and land on your chin, and then she'll fly up, hover above your face, maybe smack you in the nose a couple times, and then hover above your face and proceed to spread wide and pee on your face. A little homage to Bone Town. And so, like before, you wake up on the beach, getting peed on, but this time by a little pixie girl, who immediately then flies off. And now it becomes dark, and you look around at your surroundings. You're on a beach. Behind you, without realizing it because you're staring at the screen, is the Bistro. A somewhat large enough building, might be 2 floors. Old wood logs, whatnot. Remember, this is medieval times. Now that it's nighttime, you'll see the woods behind it, but not much else. If you look to your left of the building, there's a trail that goes along the edge of the woods and the beach. If you look to the right, it's similar, but it trails off into the darkness, so you can't see either way. The only thing you can see is a light from the Bistro. Maybe there's a hot elf chick passed out on the beach in the sand. Could even be someone walking by, or walking in the distance. Perhaps not yet though. Maybe just sleeping. It's gotta be quiet at first. So of course people are gonna be drawn to go to the light. I don't know how large. I figure you won't be able to make the entire open world all one big area, so you'll have to quadrant it off. So you can basically just have the Bistro in the middle, and then just have it go as far as it can. And then when you hit one of the walls, it just hits a load screen and you automatically load to that next quadrant. That way you can dice up the map into squares, basically, and you don't have to be like, where do you want to go, or whatever the fuck. You just hit the wall, boom, you load into the next part. hopefully as quick as possible so you don't notice the load as much, but it all depends on which kind of engine you use. Maybe you got a big new engine and you can make the whole world one big world like Witcher, but if not, and you're just working with this engine, do it like that. Squares, quadrants. So basically, from the bistro, if you went left, you'd go one way, right one way, and if you went up, you'd go into the forest, north. But we're not going any of those places yet, although in a true RPG you could. We're going to the bistro. So we get up, full control of ourselves, and we see in front of the bistro, with the light on, a little, oil lamp or whatever, there's an old man sitting, and he's passed out, and he's snoring, and if you click on him, he just grumbles and keeps snoring. Other than that, no one's there. So then we go inside. Actually, let's get a little naughty. How about there is a little elf chick passed out on like a bench out front. You can go up to her and, perhaps if you click on her, you can kind of zoom in and get a more full screen close look at her. And she's wearing a bikini because she's been drunk and partying on the beach. And so since she's passed out, maybe you can just take your hand and grab her bikini and yank it up or down, get a little peek. Same with the bottom, maybe you can yank it down a little, get a little peek. Maybe you can wake her up and then she smacks you. That'd be kind of funny. We could have a lot of mini games, so there you go. There's a fun one. You can just get a quick little peek at some nakedness. And then when you get bored of that, we can go inside the bistro. So we go inside the bistro. Of course, you could go around the side and maybe look in some barrels. Maybe find a few random items. Maybe if you look around the bistro outside, you could find a stick. A stick could be your first melee weapon. Or a rock could be your first ranged weapon. Maybe collect a little handful of rocks. Each one could count as 5 or 10 or some shit. You could have only X amount because you can only hold so much weight. Everything has weight. You can only hold so much. So you better get your strength up. We'll get into all that later. Now then, maybe we found a fish to eat, and a stick, and some rocks. Let's go inside the bistro. So we go inside the bistro, and the first thing we see is the fireplace and the chimney at the far end of the inn, burning brightly. Maybe there's a bare rug on the floor in front of it. That would be nice to fuck on at some point. To the right are tables and benches. The big long benches. Maybe there's a passed out drunk elf. Or human, or even an orc. Maybe random. Could be a random NPC. That way the next time you come there at night, there will be someone else randomly passed out on one of the benches. Each one has a little fire or whatever, but it's dim because it's nighttime. That's to the right. To the left is the bar. Behind it, of course, shelves full of liquors and bottles. A door behind it leading to the back area. And at the bar, with a couple of stools, is Bonnie, who I showed in the pictures, who is our mysterious load screen girl from Bone Town, who we were never able to bang, which was annoying as fuck. Maybe don't name her Bonnie. I don't remember her name. Maybe she had a name. I don't know. But I was just thinking of a B name for Bistro. All this is subject to change. Nothing's set in stone here. I'm just giving you a faint idea of what needs to be done to make a good RPG. I'm just saying though. Should be her. Definitely her to start, because everybody kept having to look at the damn load screen and you never found her and got to bang her. It was annoying. I thought about maybe Candy at the beginning here, but although I'd like to see Candy make an appearance later, I don't want to make too many parallels to Bone Town. So I said, no, I want the loading screen girl. She should be the barmaid. She should have one of them bar tavern wench outfits, kind of like in Skyrim that Delphine has in the Sleeping Giant Inn. You know, it's got the titties hanging out, kind of. Got the dark skirt coming down, kind of. Maybe it's kind of torn on one side, so it shows the legging. No, you can't see that when she's behind the bar. Just the cleavage. Another good example is Interview with the Vampire, that movie. When Tom Cruise is going after that chick in the bar. She's got that outfit on, it shows her titties pretty good. Classic. So anywho, that's pretty much it. Your snoring person and Bonnie, who's still awake at the bar. I suppose you could wander around a bit and look through things, although everything at this point would be stealing. Like Skyrim, you gotta get to know her first before you can just take stuff like, you know, cheese wheels or bottles of booze and whatnot. Or whatever's in the drawers. Or even in that drunk person's pockets. Yeah, you gotta be able to pickpocket too. All the good shit, in case you want to be a thief. But, so you don't want to steal nothing yet, because that would make a bad impression with Bonnie. So instead, we're going to call her Bonnie from now. You go up to the bar, have a seat. You got your third or first person view. You get to choose between the two. Even though sitting at the bar might want to force into first person view. So I don't know, maybe the action parts will be third person. This will all be in its own little loading screen world as soon as you go through the door. I don't know. Yeah, once you go through the door, you have to load into this place. You could do that in all the doors. Just have a loading screen. Fuck it. Third person view, first person view would be good. Although if you can't do it all the time, maybe just certain times, like when you're sitting at the bar. So we're at the bar, we're sitting there, Bonnie's like, hey, I was wondering when you were gonna wake up. Like, what? Like, yeah, you know, you washed up on shore there. Thought you were dead at first, but no, you were awake, kinda. So, I figured I'd stay up late. I was getting ready to pass out, but no, here you are. So you're like, I don't remember anything. You're like, oh, you got hit in the head pretty good, huh? You're like, yeah. She'd be like, trying to think of some kind of chit chat. We're improv here, people. Bear with me. It's late, too. Alright. And I gotta take a drink. It's a little chit chat just to set up the beginning, basically, and be like, oh, you got knocked in the head, you're you're amnesia, you don't remember nothing, and well, was it a shipwreck? Well, maybe there was debris along the shore. Maybe you can find some stuff if you go search in the morning. Although it's late now, and I wouldn't advise it, because there's wolves, and the wolves will eat you. Or the bandits could get you, or the strange noises that she hears from the woods. And you're like, well, it's so dangerous. What the hell are you doing out here in the middle of nowhere? She's like, this is the perfect spot in between spots to have a spot. Like, what? What are you talking about? She's like, it's the center place between places. So her father's father set up a cabin, and then had her dad, and then he died, and then he made it bigger and started renting out rooms to other people, and then it became big as people traveled from the east to the west, and as some people came out of the woods and were scared, or now some people wash up on shore from the ocean south. She's like, oh, that's cool. So you get to know that a little bit, and it's tricky at this point because you don't have any money, you don't have shit, but I gotta give you a little feel of the beginning. Oh, right. So Bonnie's all like, okay, so I know you don't have shit, so here's the deal. I'll offer you a room for the night and some food and drink, and maybe even some tethered clothes. You gotta do something for me. My basement is infested with rats, and I need the rats to be killed. Like, alright, I can handle rats. Now at this point, if you had just gone in the bistro, you don't have no weapons. You got your fists. But they're rats. So, if you agree to it, because you always have a choice to say no, and then, I don't know, not progress in the game, you say yes, and she's like, great. So she gives you a cloth shirt and a cloth shorts and fuzzy shoes. No, sandals. That's right, sandals. Fuzzy shoes would have like cold resistance and shit, so they'd be better. Sandals, you get nothing. You get like little rope, a piece of wood. Alright. Maybe she didn't even have that for you. She's got shorts and sandals. No shirt. Fuck it. Because you came in naked. You always come in butt naked. Why not? Fuck it. So if you're a girl, you get panties, and that's it. She doesn't even have shoes for you. Girls get no shoes for you either. Shorts, that's it. You get shorts. It'll give you +1 armor or something. Fuck it. Let's show your character off a little bit right off the get-go. Maybe get to choose. Just like pick one. Pick one. Maybe just get one. They'll just randomly give you one. I don't care. Get a little outfit. Get a... Oh, that's... and she would give you, Are you guys done? I'm trying to concentrate here. Thank you. I don't think they're done yet. Was that Amidala? Damn it. Take me an hour just to run over there and figure it out. I can never get to Amidala. It drives me nuts. Those damn drone things. When I get near the top, they always knock me off the fucking platforms. Drives me nuts. Anyway, where was I? Right, so she gives you an outfit. A little crappy. A piece of outfit. Fuck it. She gives you shorts. That's it. Gives you a little bit of armor. Fuck it. At least have your dignity, right? Maybe girls, it gives you a little two-piece bikini. Maybe just the shorts. Girls get panties. Gotta be sexier. Maybe just be a random piece of clothing. Alright, let's not get stuck on this. She doesn't have any weapons to give you, but she can give you food and drink. Random food item, maybe? Or just piece of fish, or whatever the meat. Raw meat. Or cooked meat. I guess she would cook the meat, huh? Yeah, 'cause raw meat would poison you. That would be like when you kill a wolf or something, you get a meat. So yeah, she'd give you cooked meat. Or maybe she got like a chicken sandwich. Ooh, chicken sandwich. Chicken leg. You got chicken legs already in the game. She'd give you a chicken leg. That'd be like super... Man, we're gonna have to list out all the different foods and the different amounts of health they give. Some give health regeneration, some give just instant bonuses of health. There's so much shit. All I want to do is fuck some health checks. But you gotta have all the other stuff too. It's the RPG we're going for here. Alright, so yeah, she gives you some food, she gives you maybe a health potion or a water. Are we gonna have to drink water? Yeah. It's gonna have the survival stuff in it. Food, and water. I like that shit in an RPG. Not be all crazy like, but I mean at least once a day you gotta drink some water. Maybe twice a day drink some water, and once a day eat some food. Just get that bar up, whatever the bar is. We'll work all that shit out in another video. Right now we're concentrating more on Bonnie. Giving you an idea of the first quest type area. So, you got a couple of items. If you were smart, you wandered around outside and grabbed a stick and some rocks. You go through that back door, and you got a room, a little room, you know, boxes and barrels and whatnot stocked up. Some potions and stuff up there, you can steal it. She won't see you. It'll bring your karma down. You got karma, good and bad, good and evil. That'll be important. There'll be like a little bar of neutral, so it can kind of sway between good and evil in the neutral zone for a little bit before you go totally evil or good. And then like your facial features will change, kind of like I think Fable did that. Like your character will get more of an undead, scary look if they go evil, whereas they'll look more healthy and vibrant if they go good. So yeah, it's a little taste of that. And so you're in this little room. There's a stairway going up, and there's a stairway going down. Let's say there's a door at the top of the stairs going up, and it's locked, so you can't go in there yet. That's the way to upstairs. That's one way up, right? That's to Bonnie's room. Yeah, there's gonna have to be... Maybe there isn't. No, there's gotta be another... Where the hell are the beds gonna go? There's gotta be another... That's gonna have to be the way upstairs. But for now, that door's gonna be locked and closed. So you can't go upstairs yet. It's gonna force you to go down in the basement. So you go down into the basement. Where you got your winery kind of thing. Got all the booze hanging out down there, and it's kind of like an open area. And you got your rats. 3 of them jump out at you. And I guess you're in third person view. So I guess they'd all come out in front of you. Trying to envision in my mind coming downstairs and then going forward, and then yeah, they kind of come out of the darkness or whatever. It's probably kind of dark down there, even if there's some torches on the walls. But I don't know. It's tough to say. I still haven't really thought if it should be a turn-based battle system or just open combat. I think open combat, kind of like the way the game engine is set, is probably the best way to go. It would be real nice if you could lock on to a enemy, but like holding down a button and then locking onto that enemy, and then maybe another button, or if you hold down the button and then hit left or right on the, if you're using a controller, you can switch between the enemies. Boom, boom, boom. You could set all that up in turn-based. That way you could strategize. Right now it wouldn't be much strategy, but later on, if you wanted to make it so that you could have a group, you'd want the battle system to be more turn-based, probably. Whereas if it's just a single fighter person with maybe like one follower, then I guess it would be open battle. So it's a tough call, because I can imagine it either way. And both ways sound kind of fun. But it all depends on the engine and what you want to do with it. So I guess I'm just gonna have to explain it in a way that would be like the normal Bone Town game, which is kind of just an open button mashing attacking game. So the rats jump out and you beat the shit out of them, and hopefully you survive it. Because if you don't, you're dead, and you should have saved somewhere, or you'll have to start all over. Hopefully you can save anywhere. If not, hopefully there's an auto save after loading screens. I don't know. You figure that out. There you go. So you kick the shit out of some rats. You search them. You got you got raw meat, and you got some rat fur, or just fur, generic fur for all the animals, and generic raw meat, I guess, is the best way to go. So it's not too complicated.
That's very good, sir. Okay.
Oh no, she's loud. Now you can eat the raw meat if you're really hurt and need the food health bonus, but then you get a disease. I gotta turn her down. Then you get a disease, and that's not good. So you want to take that meat upstairs to the fire, where there should be a cooking pot or a grill. I guess a grill would be better. Just a big piece of metal right in the fire. You just throw that meat down there. Give it a minute. Bam. Grab the cooked meat. and the cooked meat won't give you any disease. And you get the more health bonus than you would just eating raw meat. And maybe you can combine it later with cheese and bread and make a sandwich, make a burger. That'd be cool. Combining foods to make superfoods. Sounds like fun. Or take the meat, mix it with some taters and carrots and water and make a stew. Ooh. Gotta get some spices too. That's all in the alchemy section with the making food. Oh, so much to do. Making potions and food. That's all alchemy section stuff. That's a whole nother video. Anyway, what was I thinking? I was making food. I was cooking meat. Right, we cooked our rats. We killed the rats. Bonnie is happy. So, Bonnie's like, she's gonna give us like 10 coin per rat, or 5 coin per rat. 5. We don't want to get too rich. They're only rats. Maybe not even that much money. Depends on how much things are worth. It's probably not too much money, but a little bit of change in our pocket. Since now we have shorts with pocket, you want to put something in them pockets. Put the money in the pockets. So Bonnie says, I'll give you a free room tonight. You can heal and whatnot, but normally it's rent is like 10 coin a night or whatever, and that's not the only thing for rent. As she dips down and shows you her cleavage, and she goes, "But I'm so thankful and turned on. How about I give you a little taste, or you give me a little taste?" And Bonnie gives you a blowjob, and you get to blow a load on her. Well, then you should be able to aim it. You should be able to control. The sex game needs to change. The whole doing the bar thing, that's sex ass. We don't want to do that anymore. We need to just basically move the mouse up and down, and that'll be going in and out of the mouth. That way I can control how fast or slow. That way you can have a bar or something, or you can just, you don't even need a bar. You can tell by her reactions. If you're going too fast, then she starts choking on it. That's bad. But if she's sucking on it and it's making the right noises and it sounds good and she's moaning, then you're doing it right. And there's, a certain rhythm to it where you go slow at first and then you start going faster. You know what I'm saying. But you do it with the mouse and you just move it up and down. And maybe when you click the button like before, you kind of smack her in the side of the head or something. Or you can slap him in the ass before in Bone Town. Something like that where you just... But, because you're giving her head, she's giving you head, you just slap her boob, or maybe grab the top of her outfit and yank it down so you can get a little flash real quick. That'd be cool while she's sucking it. And just yank. There you go. View of that. And that you can have either, once you're in the sex mode, I guess you'll want to have first person view and the other view, and have it just be like a button click to go between the two. And boom, you hit the Y button. I think you guys have that for Bonecraft now, so it didn't look all that great. You gotta work on the proportions a little better and it'll be a little different, but per scene. But that way you get the first person view looking down, and then you can have the other view, but you gotta have open cam. Sims 4, I can put the camera anywhere and it's great. I don't know if you'd have a pause button, but being able to move the camera around anywhere would be very helpful. But if not, I don't know. Just gotta set up in the right spot so you get a good view. But being able to move the camera anywhere would be much better. So she gives you head as a reward, and you get a little taste of what's going on. But that's just a freebie. First one's free. After that, you gotta pay to play with Bonnie. Oh yes. And at this point, she becomes a friend on your friends list, on your black book, whatever you want to call it. Later on down the road, you'll have a little phone black book thing, but because you're in the past right now, it's gotta be like a scroll or some shit, parchment. But you still want to have like little photos of them, so fuck it, you're still gonna have a little picture of them. Maybe it's magical. Ooh, it's magical parchment that shows a picture of them. I don't give a fuck. As long as I keep track of everyone on my friendship list. And she shows up on your friendship list. Her friendship with you's, pretty low. You just met. It's just starting. This is where the dating sim aspect of the game kicks in. Because it's gotta have a dating sim aspect that the other games never had. Because that way, as our relationship with Bonnie grows, other options will open up. For now though, let's start with what options are now available to us, now that we are friends with Bonnie. Well, first off, of course, you have your in options, which are available whenever you come on in. Like buying food and drink. So I guess the store option has got to be there. Of course, Bonnie goes to sleep. So at night, if she's not there, you can't really buy nothing if she's sleeping. But she stayed up late tonight for you. Although usually at night she's sleeping. So tonight's special. So you got your store, you got your shit in the store. Food, water, maybe a couple of, I don't know, potions, bonus stuff, but you don't have the money for that shit. Maybe a couple of, it's an inn. She's not gonna have any weapons or nothing. So yeah, I guess that's, she ain't gonna have much. Oh, maybe a starting spell? Cause the, no. If we're gonna stretch this thing out for a while, we gotta, well, if you start out with a person that you want to make a mage person, the option should be there. It just didn't make any sense that she would have like, well, I guess if you rename them other things, like, she could have a dagger, but you don't have to call it a dagger per se. Could be like a butter knife or a kitchen knife, chef's knife, something like that. She wouldn't have a bow, or, well, she could have a hunting bow. In case you want to make an archer, you should have your basics of each thing available, but then only have the money to buy like one thing to start your character in whatever direction you want to start taking them in. Well, most people, a knife is something most people start with anyway, but I don't know if we should start with the bow and arrows. I like the rock idea for ranged weapon at first, so We'll just stick with that. Throwing the rocks for now. So yeah, maybe there's a knife, but it's really expensive. And maybe a couple of really shitty clothes. And maybe one starting magic spell that's really expensive. It's the most basic starter spell. I don't know. I haven't even really thought much about the magic stuff yet. I guess that's a whole nother video. Holy crap. We'll see how it goes. So we got the store. Let's see. Games. So Bonnie offers gambling. So we got the games. What games? What games would Bonnie offer? Strip poker and strip blackjack. Oh yeah. Fun mini games. 'Cause there's gotta be a bunch of mini games. So we get bored of the same old thing. So we gotta have mini games. Like peeking at the elf girl's titties while she's sleeping mini game. While trying not to wake her up. That's a fun mini game. And so would strip poker or blackjack with Bonnie. Of course then the view would switch and you'd see her sitting at her stool behind the bar, and you'd be kind of behind the bar sitting looking at her in a first person kind of view. The whole view would be different. Half the screen would be Bonnie and the other half would be the cards. And you know, your basic blackjack for the simple card gamers, and then you got your different types of poker, because if you don't have different types of poker, people are gonna bitch. So you gotta have at least like 2 or 3 different types of poker. You got your regular poker and you got all the other ones I'm not really too aware of that I wouldn't really play, but if you don't have them, people bitch. So yeah, you have a few different types of poker. Decide which game. Problem is though, you got no money. So playing these games, well, you got a little bit of money. She gave you a little bit of money, didn't she? And you could always sell her the stuff if you really got the gambling bug in you. Maybe you found some random change off the person sleeping over there. Or now that you're friends with Bonnie, you can start taking things and sell them to her like I used to do in Skyrim. So you got a little bit of change. Maybe play some strip. Oh, you can't really do that at first. Maybe come back later and play those games, and then you know, you gotta strip off her shoes and her skirt and her top. Of course, she doesn't have a bra. Or maybe she does have a bra on under there. It's like one of them low-hanging ones because she's got some big tits. She's got one of them low-cut bras. She can't really see it. That's a good idea. And then bra and panties, and bam, she's naked, and it's a fun mini game. Maybe she does a little dance afterward. I don't know. Sticks her butt in your face. Gives you a little close-up of her crotch in all of its 4K HD glory. I'm just brainstorming here. So, there's some poses. You can take some screenshots. Take photos. Ooh, you should have a photo album. Magical photo album. You can have all the photos in there. So that way you'd be like, you know, you can like click on it. Well, that'd be cool. A photo album. She's got some different poses. Once she gets naked, she just kind of randomly goes into a pose, and you can click on it, click a photo. She don't have a photo thing yet. Being in the past sucks. It's just mental, magical photos. I don't know. Maybe you have to find a camera later. That'd be cool. Find the pieces of ancient technology and put together a camera. Yeah, maybe do that. That would be cool. Maybe there's an option to another round, all or nothing, is she'll like masturbate if she loses, or maybe more if she really wants to. That could all be divided up into the level of friendship to how much she offers you. What other mini games could there be? I don't know. Perhaps we can brainstorm mini games later. Those are the two big ones I thought of. Was just card games, strip poker and strip blackjack. Okay. Then we got our prostitution options. Everything in every hole at different prices, depending on what you want. You gotta pay more, and then you pretty much just do it right there at the bar. Or maybe she takes you. No, you could have the bed options be later. Yeah, we do that later. So this is just for at the bar. So you just bang her at the bar. The same kind of blowjob scene that she already gave you if you want to do that again, or the other stuff. Vaginal, of course, anal would be like a lot of money, like 500 gold or some shit. You'd be like, of course you can't get that yet. Then, of course, later on, when you're lovers, you need to pay her to do that. Be nice if she kept track of her money, and when she made enough money, maybe her bistro started to look better, starts to upgrade over time. That would be cool. But then if she keeps losing all her money to you, then the place gets rattier. Literally. Rats start coming up from the bottom. Right, so that's sex. We have quest options. The rats are a continuous problem. Not that night, but of course you gotta wait. It'd be like 24-hour wait time. And you'll be able to go back in the basement and kill more rats. Now, there'll be other quests later as time moves on, or as your friendship builds up. More quests will appear. You can raise your friendship with her through conversation, through killing rats, giving gifts. Let's say we buy or find some flowers outside, buy something cool like a gemstone or a ring or something cool. Different items give different amounts of friendship, so that'll raise that up. And at some point you can then ask her on a date once your friendship goes up to a certain point. Now, if it doesn't get to that point and you forget about her and go wander away and never come back, it'll go back down to the bottom. But if you get to that first tier, then the friendship is solid at that tier. The next tier would be, of course, dating. Then you get to take her on a date, and she becomes like a follower. And you go on a date with her, and you can take her out front, because there's nowhere to go. This is later on though, when there would be other places to go in like a fast travel situation. This is all later. This is not tonight. This is just options for later. I'm just spilling it all out now. The dating option won't even be there yet. Now it's pretty much done and you go upstairs and go to bed. I'm just brainstorming all the options that'll be there later, or maybe you can see them to tease you. Nah, it's better they just come up later, except for the ones that would be available right then and there. Although the talking, it would probably be like, well, I'm getting tired. Then you go to bed. Let's see, quests. I think that's about it. Quests, sex, mini games, talking, store. It's a lot of options there. Yeah. There wouldn't be any more quests available because you already killed the rats. There'd be more down the line. The whole dating and all that would be down the line. Of course, after you take them on dates, then she could become a follower and go on actual, killing shit kind of adventure. And then become lover. Lover would be the top thing. Once you get them to lover, then it's open season. You don't have to date anymore. Then, well, you can make them a follower or not make them a follower, but then you can decide, like, do you want to live here? Change their home. So the bistro isn't her final home. She can live with you down the road in your home or your village, or wherever the hell you want to put her. Stick her in someone else's home and have her live there for a while, just because it's easy to remember and because you're hanging out in that area. Fuck it. Then you'd be losing people. Where did I put her? Oh, shit. Might be like, maybe have a little picture of her on the mega map. On the world map, you can see a little picture of each chick, where she's located, so you kind of know where she is. That would be helpful. So we meet her and that's it. Then you go to bed, go upstairs, then you get in the upstairs room, which is like a hallway, and there'd be like, I don't know, 3 or 4 rooms, maybe 5 rooms, 3 on one side, 2 on the other. One of them's Bonnie's room, of course. She's got the good room. Then the room next to it has a peek hole, so you can peek in on Bonnie and watch what she does when she goes to bed. Maybe she masturbates and you can watch. Maybe some nights she just goes to bed. I don't know, maybe there's a shower thing, which would be just like water pouring out of a thing coming out of a basic pipe thing. You can watch her shower maybe through the peek hole if you get the room next to hers. If you don't, I guess that would be the room that she would want you to get. So I guess that would be your room. Would be the room next to hers. So you get the peephole experience. I guess all the rooms could have peepholes, huh? Somebody could be peeping in on you. Huh. That'd be interesting. But nobody tells you about the peepholes. You gotta search for them and find them. Then yeah, maybe you can check out other rooms next to those rooms. That'd be fucked up. Peepholes are fun though. And you go to bed and you get your health back. And before you pass out, you're laying on the bed and you got like first person view. And Bonnie comes in and says, is there anything else you need? And that's when more sex options would appear on a normal, like if you had rented out the room kind of deal. She's like got the lantern in her hand, she's like bending over showing you her boobs again, in case you didn't do it earlier or whatever. And she's all like, is there anything else you need? Basically saying, do you want to do it? But you gotta pay, of course, more. Same prices, of course, but now it's on the bed. upstairs, so it'd be like different positions and stuff. Like cowgirl positions, mostly reverse cowgirl, stuff like that. And, gotta get some foot stuff in there too. You guys have big on the foot stuff, but you gotta get the foot worship stuff and the ass licking. Maybe pay her to pee on you. Oh, that's naughty. And then you're done and you go to bed finally. And of course, you don't have the money for that, but if you did, that would be a normal inn night. I suppose other inns could kind of be set up the same way in other places. Similar copy and paste situation with a different innkeeper. With a, different shape looking in. Because there'd be inns in the cities. And there'd be inns, they have different people, but basically have the same setup. With the inn person, the innkeeper, hot lady, and, maybe one place has two twins or something. Let's, maybe one of them, there's a guy, innkeeper, in case you have a girl character. Yeah, so you just switched up, different inns, but all have the kind of same setup. Just gotta, switch it up a little bit. And then you get up the next day and it's kind of the normal day has started. And you can talk to her. There'd be some people up and about, maybe eating breakfast at the bar, NPCs. Rats wouldn't be a problem yet for another 24 hours, so there'd be no quest there. Gonna need a quest to leave. And I kinda wanna force you to the left. Although you shouldn't. So maybe not. Maybe we just leave it open and there's no quest yet. Oh, there should be a quest. Someone eating breakfast has a quest. Something stupid and easy. Could we add fishing? People like fishing mini games. Fish could be an interesting thing. But I don't know. Then you can go to the beach. Maybe there's a little dock. That's like a fishing spot. And then you could go fish. And it would be like, the guy's like, oh, I'm so hungry and I can't afford it. And I need to get some food and you gotta get him fish. Or chickens. You gotta get the eggs. Brainstorming here. Trying to think of mini games. So I was thinking in Bone Town where they're chasing after the dude and he's got the item and everybody's chasing him. Kind of have a similar thing but with chicken. On the side of the place, like Bonnie's chickens. You run around, try to grab the chicken. And then you squeeze it and pop the egg out. You're collecting eggs. That's kind of stupid. I'm kind of a little tired. I need a beginning quest though. And I can't quite think of one right yet. Beyond the rats. I gotta get outside with the person. Maybe we just go outside. Where we find the old guy awake. Yes, the old guy. And he's saying alms for the poor. Alms, alms, alms for the poor. And if you give him money, like a coin, he'll say, you want advice? And he'll give you a list of advice to ask. You can ask about the way to the west, which would be left if you were looking at the bistro, west. You could ask about the east. You could ask about the north woods. I guess you could ask about the South Ocean. And he'll basically tell you, to the west is the plains, the great farmlands, where most people tend to travel. Most noobs and beginning adventurers tend to go to the west for a more tamer experience. To the east lies the great desert, and the desert dune people, which is where you got your Indians and Arabians and all that fun stuff. We'll get into all that more detail later. And then if you ask about the forest, you'll talk about the dark things in the woods, the wood elves, the darker elves, and the dark tower that sticks up out of the woods. A giant dark castle. From a distance looks like it's held up in the middle of the woods. It sticks up high above it. To the south is the ocean, which they say goes on, but may conceal a great island. Or maybe you can see the island from here. I don't know. Yeah, you probably can. Well, maybe not. Well, maybe it looks really small from here. Or maybe at night, once in a blue moon, you can see a light coming from the island. Or maybe a light coming from the woods. Ooh, what's that light? I don't know. I ain't going in there to check. So that's how you get your information about the outer areas. Maybe Bonnie has a delivery. That would be a good idea. Bonnie could have a delivery. Like, Bonnie has a delivery service, or people use her as a mailing drop-off point, and then she has people bring packages and letters to different places. Or maybe she sends alcohol to places. Either way, she could have a delivery quest available. And then you'd be like, where do I deliver to? And I'm really pushing for the farmland to be the beginner area. Deserts can be harsh and dangerous, and the forest can be harsh and dangerous, so let's say she has a delivery for the farm. A farmer at the farmland area, and you accept that. And I don't know how far you'll be able to adventure west, but there should be a carriage fast travel guy. But he's too expensive. You can't afford him yet. So maybe Maybe there's a fast travel signpost thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not expensive. Maybe it's just because you haven't been anywhere yet. He has no idea where you want to go, so he can't take you anywhere. You can only go to signposts that you've been to. That sounds like a good idea. So we'll have a Bonnie signpost. And that way it's clicked on. And then from there you can go to other places once you find the signpost. Like the evil tower would have a signpost out front once you find it. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. So I guess you could go along the edges. So if you go west, there's a trail. And there'd be the woods on your right, and on your left would be the beach. Maybe a random crab encounter on the beach, like the crabs in Skyrim. Come up out of the water and attack you if you're walking along the beach. If you're walking on the trail, you could have a random wolf encounter. You could have a random NPC encounter, or you could have a very rare at this point, but the rarity level would decrease as you gain levels. But right now, because you're a noob, it probably won't happen at all. A bandit attack. Yeah, it would probably be 0% for a bandit to jump out. Or maybe they would just be a pussy bandit. Maybe the bandits have different levels of toughness. And so this one would be a pussy bandit with like a stick. It'd be like tethered clothes. Totally random. Maybe nobody or nothing shows up and you're just walking for a bit until you hit that loading screen edge. That's about it, I guess. You got your package. You've done what you can here. So you could either try to adventure into into the woods and probably get killed by a very dangerous wolf. That would be much higher level than you. Try to go to the east into the desert and notice your water hydration bar go down a lot faster. So you would probably die of dehydration because you'd run out of water at this point. So that would be fun. Just to kind of show you, don't go these ways yet. You're not ready. And go west. Maybe if you try to swim, you get eaten by a shark. Or a jellyfish or something. That'd be fun. So, maybe you fished a little bit. Maybe you chased some chickens around and grabbed some eggs. You hung out for a day or two and killed some more rats. There's many possibilities. And then you went west towards the farmlands, the great fields, and beyond in Boneblivion. That will be our next adventure. Or we talk about leveling up. I don't know. Find out next time on my Boneblivion adventure idea videos.